fucking go. Mr. Beast made a comedy sketch years ago, I think 4 or 5 years ago, where he just made fun of how SJWs think there's like 52 genders at the time, whereas now they think there's 1,000. And he's not actually being canceled today, but that's what, the SJWs are trying to do and what people are discussing. Normally, when SJWs do this shit, I don't talk about it every time, because if I did, I would literally be making videos one after the other, and I would never have a life. I would literally never get out of this chair. So why am I discussing this one? Well, because it's fucking Mr. Beast. If you don't know who Mr. Beast is one of the greatest YouTubers of all time. Basically, he started off as just a guy making comedy sketches, and he would do like really funny challenges. Like, he's done challenges where he's like read the entire dictionary in one sitting or counted to like 1,000,000. He used to do challenge videos to himself where he would drive himself crazy. And then as he became way more famous and became a fucking millionaire, he started doing all kinds of challenge videos where he would include his fans or help people. He goes into restaurants and hands people thousands of dollars. He'll go to a restaurant and serve the waitress like an $800 tip. He brings people into his studio where they do mini challenges. And if they win, they literally make like $10, $20, $50, $100,000, $500,000. He's bought people cars, houses, all kinds of stuff. This guy is basically the Bill Gates of YouTube, where he just gives people money for just being awesome. That's what he is. He's amazing. He's one of the most generous people in the history of YouTube, possibly even the world. He was also the guy who organized that thing where they were like planting a whole bunch of trees. Like, he's amazing. He's done so many things for YouTube and his fans in general. So the idea, the very notion of attempting to cancel this man is repulsive. Absolutely, utterly repulsive. Basically, he's being called a transphobe now for making this comedy sketch where he made fun of 52 genders. Let's not even discuss the cancel culture thing again. I've already made a video. Go to my channel, Matt's FTR, called Cancel Culture and SJW Privilege. It's a really great video where I explain what cancel culture is and the problems with cancel culture. We're not going to talk about cancel culture in and of itself, because I could go on for fucking hours. But the point is, just like cancel culture has always been, it's always been about attacking somebody for either nothing or for something really small they did years ago and bringing it up to the future to waste their fucking time. It's a waste of everyone's time. And this is yet another example. It might actually be one of the worst examples I've seen of it, let alone just a generic example. It's pathetic. Because, firstly, we should be making fun of this 1,000 gender, 52 gender bullshit, because biologically speaking, why am I talking about biology in 2020? Biologically speaking, there are 2 fucking genders. There are many sexualities, but there are only 2 genders, male and female. SJWs can go to fucking hell for saying that no, sex is the biological male and female, and gender is the 1,000 gender list. No, it's actually not. I've also made videos debunking that, but I don't know if I should summarize or not, but basically, if that was the case, then you wouldn't be including male and female in the 1,000 gender list. If that was the case, we wouldn't be calling it a gender reveal party. We'd be calling it a sex reveal party. If that was the case, we wouldn't be calling it, when people transition from male to female or female to male, transgender. We'd be calling it transsexual. And many other things that are just contradictory to your fucking beliefs. But the point is, we should be making fun of it because there are only 2 genders. There always ever will be 2 genders. And the most important thing is, how in the fuck does the 52 genders or 1,000 genders have anything to do with transphobia? Again, we're conflating these 2 things because SJWs have their fucking finger in their asshole and then lodging their head up it. Like, it's unbelievable. SJWs think that anybody who makes fun of, like, biology, genders, whatever, makes them transphobic. You do realize that transphobia is only reserved for trans people! trans people don't fall into the 52 genders list or the 1,000 gender list. The 1,000 gender list is a list created by mentally ill people saying that you can be a literal Apache helicopter gender if you believe that you are a fucking helicopter. That's not trans. Trans means that you are transitioning from male to female or female to male. That's not a gender. Trans is not a gender. Trans is the idea of switching genders, but it's not a gender in and of itself. It is not a third gender. There's no such thing as male, female, trans. Trans is not a fucking gender. It is a gender transition between the two existing genders. Look at what I'm fucking explaining to these people. So even if his video was bad, which it's not, because all he's doing is making fun of the 52 gender bullshit, but even if it was bad, you're complaining about the wrong fucking thing! It's not transphobic. Transphobic would be if he actually hated trans people. Transphobic would be if he made fun of the idea of people switching from male to female or female to male. Transphobic would be if he was making fun of people with gender dysphoria. That's what transphobic is, you dumb fuck. And if anything, as I explained in another video, I believe it was the video I made called The Worst Comment in Social Media History, where I basically explained why, well, the video was about some SJW making a tweet on Twitter, but part of it I was essentially explaining how calling anybody transphobic, even if they're not involving trans people, is actually harmful to trans people. And I'm going to explain it here again because I doubt you guys will go watch that video. Basically, the reason why it's harmful is because when trans people, real ones, not trans trenders, real trans people, they are going through a real psychological issue. Gender dysphoria is not fun, it is not funny, it is not a fucking trend, okay? It's not. The 52 or 1,000 gender list, that is a trend. And when you liken them together, you are mocking and making the lives of real trans people harder. Because gender dysphoria is a real mental and medical issue that they suffer with. They do not find it fun. They do not find it trendy. They find it to be a very difficult thing to go through. And the entire concept of making their transition is a horrible, difficult decision to do, and when they do make that decision finally, the transition in and of itself is very complicated. So when you say the 52 gender thing is real, and if you make fun of it, you're a transphobe, real trans people with actual issues of gender dysphoria look at that and go, you're making a mockery with a trend out of my real medical and mental issue that I suffer with. That's why this is not only not transphobic, but you are insulting real trans people. It is utterly disgusting, and I am personally sick of SJWs likening the mental illness of the 1,000 gender list with real issues of real trans people who suffer with gender dysphoria. On behalf of me and all the few remaining sane people on the planet, I would like to formally apologize to all real trans people who actually suffer with real gender dysphoria because of what SJWs are doing to completely ruin and undermine what you go through. And Mr. Beast's video is fine. This man will not be canceled because he did nothing wrong, and he's one of the nicest people on YouTube. It is of no shock to me that people want to take down one of the nicest people on YouTube because they want to take down anyone who's nice. What do you guys think of this situation?